Panorama
on Splash 106.7 FM.
Top of the morning to you out there. It's a wet Monday morning here in the city of Abeokuta. I'm not sure if it's raining anywhere else, but I know that it has drizzled a bit this morning and it's still quite cloudy out there. I know school children are back to school this morning. Maybe that is the way of the heavens, welcoming them back to school this morning. But we are glad you've joined us, or you're joining us this morning. Thank you very much. This is Panorama on Splash 106.7 FM. My name is Buyiga Olani. Thank you very much for joining us. Welcome to the program.
That's right. We resume this week again with Panorama. Thank you for joining us. My name is Lola Neduteni.
And when we start normally, we usually look at one or two things. So now that the children are back to school, it's important that you ensure that you have cardigans in their bag, depending on what the weather is like as they go to school, and ensure that you have snacks and whatever in their bags.
Spoken like a parent, Vega.
Yes, and my daughter started school today.
Oh, that's good.
Surprisingly, she didn't cry. Thought she was going to cry. We'll gist about it after the show. But let's get straight to our issue of the day now. If you're joining Panorama for the first time, Panorama is divided into two segments. We have the first segment, which we tag issue of the day. And this is where we take a look at certain issues that concerns us and have some sort of impact on how we live our life here in this country. We have experts or people that are involved in whatever issue we bring to the fore. We have them on the program. Sometimes they are live in the studio, sometimes via the phone line, sometimes via Zoom or whatever available means we can get them on the program. And the second segment is tagged From the Pages, which is the newspaper review segment. So let's get to it now very quickly. Section 7, subsection 1 of the 1999 Constitution guarantees a system of local government run by democratically elected councils. Although some states have been in breach of this section by dissolving elected local government councils and appointing caretaker committees in their place, a few of the defaulting states appear to be correcting this constitutional anomaly by conducting local government elections.
This year alone, Delta, Kano, Lagos, Ogun, Oyo, Rivers, Sokoto, and most recently Kaduna have all held local government elections. As to whether these elections were free, fair, and credible, that is another matter entirely, and the focus of our discuss this morning on the first segment of Panorama. The local government elections that happened on the 24th of July in Ogun State was hailed by the governor as being peaceful and transparent.
Peaceful, perhaps, but the question of its transparency and credibility has been raised following allegations of irregularities witnessed by election observers and opposition parties. One of such is by Michael, a chairmanship candidate of Accord Party in SAGAMU local government in the recent local government area polls. He joins us now on Panorama this morning for a wider discourse on this. Good morning to you, Mr. Michael. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, good morning, and good morning, listeners out there.
So, you're a young person, and it excites us here when we see young people who have delved into politics, So I would like to start by asking you, what spurred you? I think we should start from there before we look at the election proper. I'm sure some people will be wondering why we're going back to an election that happened in July, but we're just trying to look at what young people face when it comes to elections in Nigerian politics generally. So what spurred you to throw your hat in the ring, to contest for that post?
Yeah, actually, I would like to thank you for giving me the opportunity to be here this morning. I really the management of Splash FM. Thank you so much. Actually, with the way things are going on in this country, we still have the same set of people that have been ruling laws for almost 30-something years, from 1960 up to this present moment. We are still having them in power, and at the end of the day, they hold enough and still wanting to put in their own kids there. So seeing all those things are not changing in this country. Still the same way we're going. Instead of progressing, we're retrogressing every day. And I just felt as a young man that it is better for me to serve the people and do the right thing instead of all these old men doing it the way they want, keeping everything to themselves and their family. So I felt the urge to serve my people, and I decided to join politics.
So for how long have you been in politics?
Was this your first rodeo, the last elections, local government elections?
When we want to talk about politics, per se, the top politics like we have it, political politics, this will be the first time I will be contesting. But then, politics has been in the blood. I was a president in my university days, all these things, up to this present moment. So I would say this will be the first time I will enter into mainstream politics.
Okay, well, now let's talk about the elections. Tell us of your personal experience as the chairmanship candidate of Accord Party in SAGAMU local government area in the July 24 elections.
I think we start pre-election first, campaigns and having to late night meetings with all sorts of party leaders, strategy meetings. I think we should start from there.
Wow, that is something I wish to talk about. Actually, electioneering process in Nigeria is so expensive. It's very expensive. Like when I wanted coming into politics, I had to go to my people. When I got to them, the first question they were asking me, even close family members were saying, Rotimi, have you brought in money that we will spend? So that was the first thing they asked me. And I was depressed. But I just said, okay, yeah, money, I had it. That, okay, if you people want, I'll actually give you. So you can see how bad things have been. From there, my party, we had our primaries, and all these things. Then I believe the Oksiek people, we had to now move to the Oksiek, we submit our intention forms and all these things. But things, I would say, this election, to me personally, I'm talking about myself. I don't know about people. Talking about SAGAMU local government election, that is the worst election in the history of Nigeria. Ogun State election that happened. Cause everything about let's talk about the timetable that the Oksiek people released. Actually, they didn't follow a single aspect of the election timetable. And that is the truth. Now, they will tell us election. Okay, for example, the ruling party, they asked us to come for this screening in Abeokuta. I had to come from SAGAMU. I came to Abeokuta for the screening. Getting to Abeokuta, they had to send us back to go and bring my vice chairman. I went back to SAGAMU. The next day, I came back for the screening. From the morning till afternoon, nobody attended to us. We were there. That is Nigeria for you. But at the end of the day, at the end of the screening, the date they gave us, the ruling party people, the councillorship aspirants and the chairmanship, none of them came for the screening. For the screening we had, none of the ruling party members came. But other parties from far and near in Ogun State, talking about Ipokia, they all came. I'm talking about other parties. We were all there. But now, the power at the top, they did all they could do to make everything look somehow to us. So that is why I'm saying everything about the election, what the Oksiek chairman said, he promised heaven and earth, the election will be free and fair. Nothing came out of the election. Nothing entirely. In my own local government, we have about 168 polling units. I am telling you, go to my local government. They brought boxes, the ballot materials to nothing more than 24 units out of 168. Where did they get the 20,000 or whatever they wrote for the claimed winner? I don't want to know about it. How did they get that 20,000? Even in the places they voted, like Ward 1, that is Ilaye in Shagamu. Now, after voting to a point, they had, these people is something that is so, I just don't understand. They had to take away what the people voted into the boxes. Into the box in that unit. They took that thing away and they slotted in their own papers into it openly.
Did you witness this?
Yes. They now confronted the agent that did it with the policeman there. They were telling the people that this thing has been like that for ages. We cannot come and say we want to change it. It was a big slap to the people of Shagamu local government. There was no election in Shagamu at all. Go to Ogijo, ask the people in Ogijo, was there election on that day? There was no election. They didn't take materials to Ogijo. Ogijo has been the point that the most, voluminous voters do come in Ogun State. Ogijo is so populated. They didn't take material there. Even when they wanted taking, they just took about 2, and that was around 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Did you have party monitoring agents there? Is that how you know that some of these polling units, election materials were not sent there?
Okay. About that party, the party agents, we submitted names of our party agents to OXIEC. I am telling you, up to this present moment, they didn't give us the card, the agent card. How do you expect my agent to be there when they have their thugs on ground?
Because we monitored that election. Lola, for instance, was also on the field on that day, and a part of what we saw was that a number of party agents, maybe almost all the polling units we got,
say 97% of the polling units we visited had only the APC, the ruling party, there. Occasionally the PDP was also there as well, but very few other parties.
But are you sure other parties not doing what is necessary?
Not a matter of other parties not doing necessary. All our best. We expected them to give us monitoring card, the agent card. There is no way you can go to a polling unit without card. Up till on the 23rd of July, we were expecting. Even they didn't paste the list of successful candidates on the wall as expected. We were expected to see it. They did that on the 23rd of July. Many things were wrong during the election. Now, do you expect my agent? They were there. There was nothing they could do.
Let's talk about the conduct of the election. Part of what we also noticed was that across town, especially here in Abeokuta, you could see the candidates of the APC, campaigning. They had billboards, they had, branded cars all around the place. But you find out that other parties just seem to maybe not interested, or maybe we didn't get to hear what they were doing as so. Do you expect people to vote for you? Because part of the calls we received on that day and with engagement with people on the field was that they don't even know who these candidates are. Those were some of the
Let me ask also that, what are some of the attempts at publicity that your party embarked on, or you as a candidate embarked on?
Wow.
As well as Boega's question.
Okay, like you asked, my party, we branded our own vehicle. Ask anybody in Shagamu local government today. We had our poster pasted all around the town. And we had open campaign. We had convoys of cars that followed. We had open campaign. We met several people in the town. I'm talking about my own local government now. I don't know about any other local government. So talking about Shagamu, we had the best opportunity to serve our people, but they truncated the mandate or the belief of the people. So it's concerning our own party, we did all we could do. We did all expected of us in terms of the campaign and all the things. So
do you think that you are a member of the Accord Party? Do you think that if you were, for instance, in another party and you did all that you did, do you think things could have been different?
Let me tell you, things, unless you are a member of the ruling party, I don't want to make mention of any name. My party, Accord Party, is still the best party to me as of today. Accord is still the best party that you can vouch for in terms of people of intellect that are ready, that have manifesto to serve their people. So when it comes to you saying I go to, which other party would I go to? Is it the party one? The party one or party two? Same set of people crossing from party one to party two. I don't want to. The first one A, the other one is P. So do you want me to join them when I know what they are doing is not right concerning the way they serve the people and concerning the way they rule or the way they lead the people? Let me put it that way. The way they lead the people is not the right way. We can all see what is happening in the nation today. So that is just it. My party still remains the best party to follow.
All right. Well, you're not the only, you and your party are not the only ones who have found fault with the exercise. That's the local government elections. One of our listeners told us of an alleged, an NMPP candidate that allegedly defeated, the APC in a Ward 14, Imala,
yes.
Yes, in Abeokuta North. And we followed up on that story. As a matter of fact, the candidate was invited to our Yoruba program where he aired his grievances. He tendered some evidence, some video evidence. You as well posted a video.
Yes.
In fact, what was the content of the video that you posted? What was it? It was implying that there was electoral fraud, but can you break it down? What was in that video?
We have so many videos, but the government of today is not wanting to do anything.
I'm talking about that specific video.
That specific video.
What was going on in the video?
What's about presiding officer in a unit. That unit is at Ayebami in SAGAMU. That is Ward 3 area. Now, at the end of the day, if you check what happened really on that day, the agents and some cohorts of APC, I will make mention of name now because we have that evidence, they went ahead and completed all the ballot papers you saw on that lady's hand in that video. They completed it. And when it was now time for them to start counting, the presiding officer is a lady. There is nothing she could do. As a lady, there is a limit to how you can react when it comes to politics, unless you be beaten red and blue, black and blue, and that is the end. So, but the lady had to, follow the order. So now, while they were counting the ballot papers, it got to a point before you count during election, you call all agents to be there. That is it. But then in that video, we had only the APC agents available and his friends, the thugs like them. So they now started talking that election by you, it was time to start counting the election. So they were telling people that it was we have it on camera. Now, when the lady started counting, it said 1 for APC. When it got to a point for another party, the lady wanted to take the ballot paper aside, so they just grabbed the paper and said, put it, it's part of it. The lady dropped it in the ballot box and they were counting. At the end of the day, it continued that way.
Okay, let me go on with where I was heading to the question I was going to ask, that not only your party accused or found fault with the exercise, other parties did too. However, the OGCEC chairman, Mr. Babatunde Oshibodu, said, according to reports, that only one petition has been received by the tribunal set up to consider election petitions. There was a tribunal set up about a week after. Now, I cannot confirm if some of these parties have followed through with their threats, but I know that shortly after the elections, both the Action Alliance and the New Nigeria People's Party threatened to head to court, according to Platform Times report. And then there's your party too, that was reported to have written OGCEC requesting for the certified true copy of the SAGAMU local government elections to enable it to prosecute its matters at the Election Petition Tribunal. Now, is your party perhaps the sole party Mr. Oshibodi was referring to that has submitted its petition to the Election Petition Tribunal?
Actually, let me tell you, according to election law, you are to submit your petition 14 days after election. Anything after 14 days, you are out of it. Now, we held the election on the 24th of July.
Right.
The government constituted, the CJ of Ogun State constituted the election tribunal on the 5th of August. Now, just that day or the next day, JUSON, a body of Judiciary Union of Ogun State, they embarked on strike. Up to this present moment, I don't think they are back. So how do you expect us to go and submit? Lawyers on strike. We've been trying all possible best to make things happen that way, but there has never been a way to reach the tribunal up till now. Now, that is aside. We wrote the OGCEC. Our lawyer wrote the OGCEC, and the local government chairman signed it. That they should give us a true copy under 24 hours, that our party is ready to pay for everything. I have the copy of the letter here. Up to this present moment, they are yet to respond to us.
And so, the window has closed. The window for submitting the petition to the tribunal has closed.
I believe it has closed. They know what they did. It's a game of 1 + 2. That is the same thing we're talking about the government.
Okay, a lot has been said, and I do hope that maybe before the end of this week we'll reach out to OGCEC as well, so that we get a balanced view here.
We did reach out to them shortly after the election, but understandably they were busy with election matters. So perhaps now, this time, now that
we'll be able to get them to come. Mr. Babanji Oshibodi was here before the election, and I'm sure he will also honor our call when we get across to him. So. For you, beyond what has happened, maybe what is done and dusted, so to say, what was the most difficult part of the process for you? While we are encouraging young people to get into politics, stories like this does not exactly
paint a good picture
of how things are, or maybe make people as confident to get into the system. But what was the experience like for you, and what was the most challenging part? Was it to get the tickets? Was it election day? Was it the period of campaign? Was it how much you had to spend and all of that? So what was the most challenging part of the process for you?
Actually, when it comes to pre-election, I had no challenges. I had a smooth run. My for me, and they believed in you having a white paper of what you really want to do. So they gave me the best backup needed from a party. The other thing I will talk about is the people you want to govern. They are the set of that only believes in what they want to eat. All they want is, maybe it's because of the poverty level of the people. When you go to anyone and talk to them, all they will ask is, that means they've not eaten. They will want something. So as a youth, or as a man that wants to serve, I was looking at them. Even, let me tell you, there was this experience I had. I went to someone, I had a meeting with them. So at the end of the day, they called me, the person that headed the meeting called me and said, okay, in order for you to make go with whatever you want, that you give us money, okay, that then if you are able to get there, forget about serving the people, forget about doing whatever you have the plans to do. I was mad. I stood by and said, this is the same way you guys have been doing it, that you've been destroying up to this present moment. The same thing. The same way they left the old environment of Shagamu is still the same way it is. Nothing has been touched in Shagamu up to now. And I told them that running my home government, I wouldn't need their allocation. And that is one thing they run after, the allocation. And even the allocation is not there. The state government is not giving them the allocation. Why am I now, putting all my effort into getting allocation? I have other means. I have Shagamu indigenes that are in the diaspora that are wanting to come home. So I had no challenge before. But during the election, what I witnessed, I don't wish anybody on earth will witness such. In my unit, that is my family, my family house, our family background house, I was there in the morning to go and vote. Do you believe in my home ward, they didn't bring boxes to my ward? I didn't vote. Ask anybody in Latawa today, Latawa, Shagamu, did they vote? In Shagamu, Latawa. So you can see that they didn't bring boxes to the people and they wanted to vote. That is aside. Then early in the morning on that day, my brother, let me say, my uncles and everybody had to take me away when it got to a point. Because they said very early in the morning, 6, 7, some guys, they saw some 2 guys, they brought gun. I was like, into re-election, gone to do what? And they said, as the only child, we wouldn't want to lose you. So I had to go and, hide somewhere until when it got to a point, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, I walked around, there was no boxes anywhere. So the people were yearning to vote, but they knew what they did. That is, they knew that was my ward, and there was no way they could win. APC will win that ward, and many other things like that. I walked around, like for example, in Ward 12, they brought boxes about 2 to Ward 12. I was there. So the councillor there, after voting for Accord, do you know what they did? The policeman and the presiding officer, they refused counting the votes at that point. They took it away. It was a tug of war on that day. So
how can things get better, especially with local government elections? We have talked about how local government are the closest to the people and on and on like that. So how can things get better? I know the general elections usually have some bit of sanity because of the use of the thumbprints and what have you. But with local government elections and the state electoral body, there seem to always be challenges. In Kaduna State, for instance, we have Governor Rufai, as much as possible, has tried to make the process as liberal as possible. We even have electronic voting. We had it 4 years ago, and the one they had a few weeks ago as well, we had electronic voting. So how can things get better?
Thank you so much for that. Number one, unless this 1999 Constitution is being reviewed, they should take that power away from the state government from organizing local government election. If they are paying, you budget and you take the money from the government, how won't you be maneuvered? They put in place OCSIEC. The state government is the head of OCSIEC, is the umpire, is everything. So what do you expect? You must dance to the tune of the government. Even if you are being chosen as a man now to come, there is a point you get to and you just give it all. Because for me, the chairman of OCSIEC wanted doing, he promised heaven and earth. He came to this studio, I called in live that day, and I asked him a question. That you are telling us that you can use your birth certificate, your driver's license to vote in an election whereby we took all the pain to go and register for voters card. Then you can now just bring anybody, you can bear anybody's name. You can go and swear to an affidavit. You can do, people do it and they know the name. Even did they follow that? they had the place they went to turn print for the Shagamu local government election. We have it on tape. How it all went that night. All that happened. And when you meet people. So the only thing I believe is they should take that power away. We need constitution review in this country. 1999 constitution is dead. They should bring in set of people to come and review. They should take that power away from the government. Same power is what they are using against the people that want to serve. So that is just it.
All right, we're still speaking with Oke Michael, who was the chairmanship candidate for the Accord Party in Shagamu local government area for the July 24th local government elections. He's a young candidate, and he's speaking to us of his experiences, both pre-election, during the election, and post-election. Now, before we open phone lines, you can send in your comments, by the way, to our Facebook page. We're live streaming there as well. Splash FM 106.7 is where you find us. Drop a comment in the comment section there. If you prefer WhatsApp, our number there is 0817-555-1067. We're speaking about, well, I mean, you have sort of, from everything you've said, the conclusion that one may draw is that OCHSEC and perhaps the ruling party and the state government did not provide a level playing field for all, participants. However, I want to take the focus away now from the electoral body as well as the ruling party and put it on the parties, the other parties, the opposition parties. I bet when the OCHSEC chairman honors our invitation, I'm sure that he's going to also point at some of the areas where the parties too can work on their own strategy as well as the people. Let's talk about voter apathy, the turnout for the elections, in our bid to strengthen the electoral system, as well as what your party, for example, and what other opposition parties can do to better, as I said, strengthen electoral processes, particularly with local government election. Some of our observations, as we mentioned, were party disorganization. Maybe not your party. We know what happened with the APC, the warring factions, and how perhaps that contributed to its abysmal performance at the polls. But before now, you said that the state electoral body did not accredit the monitoring agents that you submitted their names. But before that, what we had observed was there were no monitoring agents. So what are some of the lapses that you think opposition parties can improve on for elections as well as voters? How do you think we can combat voter apathy?
Thank you so much. Actually, the people, for now, they don't believe in any election in Nigeria. Go to them. They'll tell you, Nkoto Mashi, no Mashi. That happened during my campaign period. Many places we go to, they said, even I went to one of these factional leaders of the ruling party in the state. It doesn't belong to the present government's group. So when I got to him, he's well known. He said, maybe this is an English program, but I would have loved to say it in the way he said it.
Please go on.
He said, Rotimi. Maybe many of you might not understand my language. Rotimi Ruma sorry for Mashiwala. Bonshim Korean, Sean Makobo. I was like, sir, they will write it. Why would they write it? He said, Esunu Mashi, Sean Makoiboy, Bonshim Kore, Nataye, Wolobiro no bare. That means I should go and ask my dad. My dad was among the people that said, you better don't waste your time. I was like, so you these people, you don't want to change. Why are you just like this? So people don't believe. When you go to them, they say, stop wasting your money. These people are not ready to vacate any. And most of these, our leaders, what they are doing is, they are protecting their own selfish interest. The second coming. They want to go again. So that was why they are that has been the reason they have been doing what they are doing presently. Picking candidates to protect their interest in the second coming. Why are they doing that? Is that the part of the way to serve the people? So people, they don't believe them. We all that I will just implore the people is, please, for now, go and get your voters card ready. 2023 is around the corner. We need to tell them that we are no more fools in this country. Many evil things are happening, and it is still the same government, the ruling government at the top, federal government, still the same here in Ogun State. So they are still together. Whatever is happening in other states is still the same thing. We have kidnapping all around. So I'm begging people to please go and get, put down their names. If you're above 18, go and get your PVC card. Go and get your voters card. Register for voters card. And let's get ready for 2023. They've started campaigning. They've started going around now. So we need to confront them. I don't mind whatever happens to me. I will tell the people the truth. This is the time to take over the aims of our fear from all these old men. They don't have any plans for all this country.
With our voters card, that is with our voters card,
right,
that is
yes.
0704 400 1067 0817 444 1067 0817 555 1067. That's also the WhatsApp line where you can also drop us a comment. We're also streaming live on Facebook as we speak right now, so you can drop us a comment there. Let's start with this call. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Alaji, my name.
Alaji, good morning.
I'm coming from Milaka in Ogun.
Please go on.
Thanks for your guest here. He's speaking lightly, but I want you again to know we need to consider review, and that local government election should be conducted as we are conducting the national plan. And if you start from the local, state and federal, or federal, state and local together, that government is a government declared to the people. We should do it together like that. And again, we move the state electoral something, even from the federal too. The electoral body should be under the judiciary, not under the also called the president and so on.
The executive.
We are seeing now. Are you getting me?
Yes, we're with you.
The electoral body, the chairman, to be under the judiciary, and even with the police too, should be under the judiciary, not under this, just want to, the party something, the president, the state governor. So it's not supposed to. That is why we are going to play the true party that is short, and the true government in the local government system and the.
All right, thank you very much, Alaji, for your contribution. You too can be a part of the program this morning. We're doing a sort of review, trying to bring some issues to the fore this morning. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning to you.
Yes, sir.
Your
Good
name,
morning to the gentleman there.
your name and where you're calling us from.
I'm Bola from Elora.
All right, please go on.
Thank you very much. See, my contribution remains that you know what to love. This Nigeria is economic disorder. And mind you, because we have a bad government, as we're saying. But anyway, tell me, is there a pure election in Nigeria? Number one. Two, are the NSA controlled by the government? Third, who is the authority? Is it the elected one or the masses? See? In Nigeria, it's only the government that exists. Everyone is just like a slave in my country. This is our country. Hello?
Hello, are you there? Hello? All right, please try and call us back. Glad to take the rest of your comments. The phone line is still available for you to chip in your own 1 cent on the program this morning. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Afolabi is my name. I'm calling from Abeokuta.
Good morning, Afolabi.
Good morning, my brother in the studio. I can feel your pain, and the thing is also biting on us as well. Because we are in a situation, or let me say we are in a very precarious situation where things, as they are going, are not going to work well. It's not about a cause. The people are bent, the politicians, they are bent on destroying the whole system so that everything can favor them. So there is no effort to put up. They will truncate it just like it happened to you. Now, the masses as well, they are not doing a good work as well. And we cannot be complaining that things are not going well while our people are not also helping. Most of the time they talk about poverty. Yes, there is poverty in the land. But poverty does not say we shouldn't do the needful. Our people should rise up. I always say this thing every time I call. Our people should rise up and, fight against this thing. It's not about carrying arms. We just have to fight against this thing. These people, they are bent on destroying the whole thing because they believe that Nigeria, the states, the local government belongs to them and nobody can stand up to do the needful to correct the wrongs. So we just have to, continue to educate our people. I think that we can start from there. We have to educate our people. We have to let them understand that these people meant no good for the country, for the state, for the local government, for the masses. People like you, a young man like you, that have that good heart to serve the people, is being discouraged. Then where is the hope for the future of this country? I just pray we take the bold step of fighting against this thing, so that we be part of those we be part of the history of changing this nation to a point of Eldorado.
Thank you very much, Afolabi, for your contribution. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Give me 2 seconds more. You are 10 minutes or 7 seconds. Miss Nicholas, anyway, happy rainy day to you all.
Good morning, Nicholas.
Hello. Yeah, please remind me of the name of the guest, please. Sorry.
Okay, Michael.
Okay, Michael, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, that's my brother's namesake. I want to first of all appreciate your courage, your tenacity, your bravery, going into a lot of an area where many of your mates will not even dream of. And in as much as I appreciate your courage, I sympathize with the level of our politics in the country. Lola asked you if you had a video. The word has become miniaturized. There are a lot of videos that anyone can have access to if they are interested. The whole world saw a certain senator in this country slap a woman in the shopping mall, and the police and the magistrate told the whole world that they had no evidence. The whole world saw the president of the Court of Appeal of this country practice his taekwondo skills on an innocent gate man, only for the man to go and take an ex parte injunction to stop a Senate public hearing on that issue. And last week, some senior sons in this country told the whole world that having ex parte injunctions in different areas shows the independence of the judiciary. That is the level we have sunk into. And like the first caller said, when Frederick Douglass was trying to free slaves, he said, I freed 10,000 slaves, but I would have freed 10,000 more if only they knew that they were enslaved. But you are just surrounded. And Ijebu is even a strong area to go into because it's also a mystically powerful area. Have a nice morning.
Thank you, Nicholas. Thank you very much. Hello, good morning. Are you there? Good morning to you. Okay. Oh, my. The phone lines, we still have a few more minutes to take 1 or 2 more calls before we go. Hello, good morning. Please turn down the volume on your radio set. Good morning.
I'm sorry about that.
No problem.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Olabode Adegbe is my name.
Olabode, good morning to you.
Good morning to you in the studio. If you notice very well, the OGSEC chairman, right here on this station and some other stations now across Abeokuta like that, have been very vocal. I've been challenging because I'm least surprised, to be honest. So, in fact, I will even be surprised if some people are still surprised by the entire outcome of this election, because the whole thing started from the how the entire arrangement is. It is absurd. You can't expect someone that will be, that will champion, that will be the presiding officer, the main presiding officer of a local government poll, being tied to the apron string of the seat in the incumbent governor. Whether we like it or not, that person is already, predisposed, to doing the biddings of the incumbent governor and the party. So, and if we want to be very fair, it is not something that is actually peculiar to this incumbent administration alone. So now, the point is, I think until we start, if this thing is actually being handled by the Independent Electoral Commission, it's not like there won't be some sort of dissatisfactions here and there, nevertheless. But the thing will be, it will be quite minimal. I think that is the bane of that. That is the foundation of this problem. The only difference from this current, this last local government poll and and that of the predecessor, the one organized by the predecessor, the immediate past administration in Ogun State, was just the level of the turnout. So the apathy here is just condemnable. So that is just the difference. And I'm afraid this thing will carry on. That is what we will keep experiencing of our local government polls. If we haven't changed this arrangement, it is absurd. It's ridiculous. So that is one. And secondly, I want to take an exception to you made mention of these, as they call them, old cargo. So I don't mean any disrespect. So everything we want to do, we can't do it in complete isolation of these people. Old brooms, new brooms may sweep better, but old brooms, they know the nooks and corners. So if we want to change the entire, political, ugly incidences, we are having in our political space, we need this, or we need their experience too. So, good morning. Thank you.
Right. Thank you very much, Olabode, for your contribution. Olabode will be here tomorrow, I believe, from the pages. I'll be glad to finally put a face to the name. Okay, let's take another call before we take closing thoughts. Good morning to you.
Yes, sir.
Your name and where you're calling us from. Your radio is loud. Please turn it off.
This is Roberto Nebaranjo on the line back.
Okay.
You cut me off.
We had network challenges, but please go on.
Thank you. Wow. I'm seeing on speaking. You know what? This our government of faith. Say it's good, right? But mind you,
Babatunde, you're going to have to be quick, please. Wrap up your thoughts in less than a minute.
I'll do, man. You see, we have to control our truth first to be economically okay. Because if we do something of which we are going to gain today, we're about tomorrow. Tomorrow is the golden day, not today. But people always control their throat to the weather of what they feel. They don't think about the future. That is what I believe.
All right.
Well, mind you, government is just somebody who manage governing somebody, not God. And mind you.
Thank you. We're going to have to let you go now. This is you've used more than the allotted time. We have only less than 2 minutes to go, so let's take Mr. Oke's thoughts now. the future of the elections, there will likely definitely be another local government elections. Are you daunted by your experiences with this?
I think I will still go more. I'm not going to give up because I want to serve my people really, and whatever happens, I am not discouraged. And like the caller said the other time that I was talking about whole cargoes, even the new blocks, we have some new blocks that are not, they just want to come there and mess up things. We have a governor presently, not in our state, in another state, that is vying for a higher post, that even what he's doing, old men have not done so bad like he's doing presently. So it's everywhere. What I'm trying to say, or what I tried saying when I said all cargoes, is those that have the mind to serve the people. That is
in 30 seconds. Young people, you for instance, let me not say young people. Yeah. What are you doing around you to encourage people to get their PVCs? Now, talking about what you're doing personal, I know in Osun State, some people have set up computer centers where people can go to, do these things. But for you personally, what are you doing?
For now, thank you for saying that. Soon in Shagamu, my local governments will be having some centers as well that we are putting in place. But all that I want to do is, I don't want to be like as if it's our party that is doing it. It's just going to be like a foundation. So soon you'll be seeing that roll out, and also we'll be printing flyers to people so that they can go and do that.
All right, we'll proceed on a commercial break, but we'd like to appreciate you, Mr. Michael, okay, and we wish you all the best going forward. We hope that things get better, with these elections. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me. God bless you.
All right, we'll proceed on that commercial break now. Send in your thoughts on WhatsApp and Facebook if you'd still like to contribute. We'll take those when we come back from the break. Stay with us. Panorama will be back.
Adédìrú Àṣàbí ni orúkọ mi. Èmi ni àkọ́bí ọmọ fún ìdílé Adélọ́rọ̀.
Oyinwọnúọlá ni orúkọ tí èmi ń jẹ́. Èmi ni ọkùnrin tí ó wà láàrin ẹ̀gbọ́n mi obìnrin àti Oyindàmọ́lá àbúrò mi obìnrin.
Ọ̀gbẹ́ni Àlàbí Adélọ́rọ̀ ni mí. Èmi gan ni olórí ìdílé wa. Digbí ni ọkàn mi balẹ̀ torí ohun gbogbo tí ìdílé mi fẹ́ fi ṣọdún bíi ìrẹsì, màálù, ògúnfe, òróró, tọ́kí àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ. Bí ọdún bá ti kù ọ̀sẹ̀ kan, nílé iṣẹ́ ABL máa gbé gbogbo àwọn nǹkan tí mo fẹ́ fi ṣọdún yìí fún mi.
Ọkọ tèmi nìkan, ọ̀rẹ́ tòótọ́ kan ṣoṣo fún àwọn ọmọ wa. Àṣeyọrí wa yìí ṣeé ṣe nípa fífi 2,500 pamọ́ fún àwọn ọmọ wa. Èmi náà fi 5,000 naira pamọ́ nínú owó oṣù mi. Ọkọ mi náà fi 10,000 naira pamọ́ nínú èrè okòwò rẹ̀.
Tó bá jẹ́ ti ìdílé Adélọ́rọ̀ pẹ̀lú ìrànlọ́wọ́ iléeṣẹ́ ABL.
Ọdún Kérésìmesì àti ọdún tuntun máa dùn yùngàyùngà lọ́dọ̀ tiwa.
Iléeṣẹ́ ABL wà ní nọ́mbà 47 Purple House Ìtòkú Road, Ìtàmọ́rì Junction, Abeokuta, Ogun State. Ẹ pè 09026577587.
You fit fly. Wow, You Fit Fly brings to you another wonder as we embark on a holy pilgrimage to the Kingdom of Jordan. Of course, you have been to Jerusalem a number of times as instructed by the New Testament, but this pilgrimage to Jordan will help you complete your holy pilgrimage according to the Old Testament. Remember, River Jordan is where Jesus Christ was baptized by John the Baptist, and a number of historical sites mentioned in the Bible, like the point where Prophet Elijah was taken up by chariot of fire, as well as Mount Nebo where Moses stood to view the promised land, and the point where he struck the rock to bring forth water for the Israelites, and the miraculous Dead Sea, and a host of others. The holy pilgrimage to Jordan is slated for Tuesday 14th to Tuesday 21st September 2021, as led by evangelist J.A. Adelakun Ayawa. Visit You Fit Fly office now, 68B Awolowo Avenue, opposite Fed Avento Palace, Isalẹ̀gbẹ̀yìn, Abeokuta. Telephone 081-3378-5934. Looking good is the beauty of every human. At the same time, what you eat is what you have. No long thing. Elolam Variety Stores has all it takes for your children and even yourself. Arakun Lashok Bagio, Naweru Timbelodo one. Wamome Lero Mode Timbembe. Provisions no benye. Onji Omode, Elwebo, Nebiayeye, Onwelwe Shwarabi jewelries, bags, bata, Agoto Jojulo Atibe, no. Back to school bag and lunch bag. Another superb thing is the bakery. Nebitiatin Sheburedi to Lenowo, Ele to Tuntu Leno, Fubo, I want to one more Buredi to Kufofo, or Pokwo Yokunia, Jawo, Dandawi, Oloko, Bowo, Elolam Variety Stores in Beni, Imran Taiwo Plaza, number 69, Kuto Road, Ladojoko Polaris Bank, Kuto Abeokuta, Ogun, 081 04 21 5077 Tabi 090 33 56 91 42. Elolam Variety Store, one stop shop.
gbọ́ mi sà gbogbo ènìyàn tó gbọ́ mi lásìkò yìí ó pariwo tó ó gbàdúrà ó sọ wípé ọlọ́run ó ní oore kan ṣo ló kù lọ́dọ̀ rẹ ilé mi lọ́wọ́ kóre mi ó lè lẹ́kan sí àdúrà.
iléeṣẹ́ IAS ṣàǹfẹ́ kí gbogbo wa ó ṣoríire àníkóore gbogbo wa ó tún lè lẹ́kan sí Nigeria at 61 IAS 61 days mega promo ẹ wá gbọ́ o ẹ̀dínwó aláìlẹ́gbẹ́ 61 days mega promo yìí ọjọ́ mẹ́wàá àkọ́kọ́ máa bẹ̀rẹ̀ lọ́jọ́ Monday September 6 sí Wednesday September 15 àdùbẹ̀wá ni pé lórí àwọn ilẹ̀ wa mẹ́ta tó ń ta wàràwàrà yìí ni Treasure Garden Mawuko Oni Drop Garden Mawuko àti Country Home Ayétòrò Road tá a ti ń tà ní 200,000 naira tẹ́lẹ̀ lẹ́ máa rà lẹ́dínwó 90,000 naira péré lọ́jọ́ mẹ́wàá lówó àwọn ilẹ̀ yà máa gòkè díẹ̀díẹ̀ sí má jẹ́ kí àǹfààní ọjọ́ mẹ́wàá àkọ́kọ́ ẹ̀dínwó aláìlẹ́gbẹ́ 61 days mega promo yóò kọjá rẹ o kàn sí iléeṣẹ́ IAS tó bá súnmọ́ jùlọ tàbí kó o pé 090 33 77 31 89 àdúrà rẹ ti gbà òòrè rẹ ti lékan sí.
Dear parents, all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy and Jill a dull girl. Why not let your children come unwind with us at the Splash FM monthly children's party? All birthday celebrants this month will get to have a rousing birthday celebration in their honor. Happy birthday to you. A flat fee of 1,500 naira only will get your child access to all the exciting attractions we have. There will be a birthday cake in honor of the celebrants, face painting, games, amusement rides, and more. Come party with us at the Ogun State Recreation Center, MKO Abiola Stadium, Kuto, Abeokuta for the Splash FM monthly children's party. Register by calling or texting 0805 041 7077 or 0811 249 0571. Check out our Facebook page Splash FM 106.7 for more details. The Splash FM monthly children's party is happening on Saturday, the 25th of September by 10 a.m.
We educate. That's why we are respected. We inform. That's why we are loved. More music. We are the best. The Integrity Station. Splash.
106.7. Panorama.
Panorama.
Panorama. Panorama.
Panorama.
Panorama on Splash 106.7 FM.
Welcome back to Panorama, and our guest is left now, but we'll take your comments on social media before we proceed to the next segment of the show. And the reason why we bring this to the fore is to continue to encourage us to get our PVCs, to get involved in politics, and especially for young people too. This is the only way with which a government can be changed in Nigeria. It doesn't matter what you feel, it doesn't matter how you feel, only through the ballot. And if you do not have a PVC, then it means you do not have a say. So it's as simple as that, 1 + 1 really. But let's get to Facebook first. And Ibrahim Akinwande, we see your message. Thank you. Adeniji Abdugafara Olawale said, good morning. Well said. Nigerian youths need to rise up and be ready to take this country to where it's supposed to be. Nigerian youths, go and register for your PVC. Our time has come. Well, another admonishment there on Facebook. I'm West Oluwakwe. Thank you for your message. Saeed Olushesi said, good morning. It is very painful for me where we youth find ourselves because our elders are not ready to do good for youths in this country. divide and rule everywhere in the country. Even youths have lost interest to aspire for any political post because they know that our votes are nothing to them in terms of counting. Our elders believes this country election is now selection to them. May Almighty Allah guide us to the right path. He said, good morning. Thank you, Said Olushesi. Mr. Adetayo Ademola Adeniran. He said, good morning, Mr. Boygan Lola Mediteni. My contribution this morning is not related, but we'll talk about it as well. I will not stop talking until the government find a lasting solution to the issue of refuse in Abeokuta metropolis. Come to Kuto, Lafenwa, and other places. This is very poor in the capital city of our state. Engineer Tayo Adeniran. Well, I know he's sensing his messages from Kuto. Well, this is something we talked about several times last week, and maybe let's talk about it now again. It's sad to see what the Abeokuta metropolis has become. See that's everywhere, smelling, spend days.
And some people, there have been allegations in some quarters that governance seems to have gone on a hiatus with the governor. Since I even saw someone making reference to how last year the excuse given was the pandemic, the NSAS protests, and now this year the governor seems to, since the loss of his father, who he so rest in peace, the governor seems to have just sort of put things on pilot mode. But, you know, there may be some merit to that, given that this waste situation has continued unabated, even despite the fact that I've seen it written up in print. We've talked about it here on broadcast media, and you know the Ogun state citizens and residents keep crying out, but yet nothing is done. Well,
we should also call on Ogun residents as well. Please stop dumping refuse by along the media and by the roadsides. I don't know how. I'll give you an example. Sometimes last week, the one beside us here, that's at the Abeokuta Junction, was packed by the refuse truck. And just some 5 minutes after that was done, I was stepping out of the office and I saw a man park his car. I'm not even sure it was up to 5 minutes after that place was, you know, totally cleared of all of the dirt that was dumped there. And then the man parked his car, brought out, you know, the polythene bag, the refuse bag from his boot, and dumped it there again. And then the process starts again. And then we are the same set of people that will complain about what the outlook is like. If you do not dump dirt there, dirt will not find its way. It will not walk from your house, you know, to the roadside. So it's important that while we ask government to find a lasting solution, that we also tell our people to do the needful. Cholera, there's a cholera outbreak ravaging the country. I'm sure we don't want an outbreak like that, especially when doctors are still on strike. You don't want to be left at the mercy of hospitals at this time, especially government hospitals. But then let's move on. Kuti Olawale said, good people must change their attitude because a bad attitude is like a flat tire. It needs to be changed in order to move on. Thank you very much. Ifeanyi Uchuku, I'll try as much as possible not to bite my tongue with this, your comment. He said, a risorgimento is overdue. Okay, we'll have to check that out. But thank you very much for your
sounds
comment.
Like a Latin term. All right, now on WhatsApp, Olajide Olawale says, good morning, Splash. This is so unfortunate. We still have a long way to go. Seriously, the man in the studio is someone I know, and I know how passionate he is about making a good society inevitable. We need aggressive reorientation for us to get to that El Dorado. God bless Nigeria. And he sends that in from Olorunshogo Bodeolude in Abeokuta. Edun Abayomi says there's nothing the young man has said that hasn't been said before. Come the next local government elections, the same thing will most likely play out because it does not appear we are doing anything to correct the anomaly. Regardless, I congratulate him for his courage, and I urge him not to be deterred if he's genuinely out to serve his people. Kende Gabriel is here with this comment. It is such a pity we even fail to copyright the democracy being practiced in the world. I really appreciate your young guest for his tenacity, is what you mean, and doggedness. I'm not surprised about the malpractice your guest complained about. I know a ruling party steward who told me he thumbprinted more than 400 ballot papers approximately. Such a shame. Our selfish leaders have gathered a lot of resources from past years, making it difficult for young, willing Nigerians to give this country the true liberty it deserves. Finally, is this comment from Ademoye Harana, who says, "Good morning, great people. What pains me most in Nigerian situation is anytime they raise a solution to a particular problem, the people in the system are against it. With all these, are we good to go as a nation? We cannot gently win with all these bombardment attitude of our political fathers. We need to act. I have registered for my voter's card." That's good to know. It is time to tell them boldly that their reasoning does not exist any longer in this present day life, and that they should leave power for those ready to serve, like our guest in the house. Thank you, everyone, for your WhatsApp comments.
We appreciate you for all your comments. Thank you very much. And just to mention, before we get to the newspapers, that the Splash FM Monthly Children's Party holds very soon. That's the last Saturday of every month. And what we're doing, or what we're trying to do, is to celebrate our children. So it's primarily for each month's birthday celebrants, but non-celebrants who want to have a nice time, who want to have a jolly good time with other children of maybe similar ages or maybe older or younger, they are welcome to attend as well. And no age restrictions. It's open to as many children as possible. If you have been to the venue we're using, it's a very big space. That's the Ogun State's Ministry of Youth and Sport Recreation Center. It's within the stadium. That's the
MKO Abeokuta International Stadium
at Kuto. So merry-go-round, swing, horse ride, talk of it. If you go to our Facebook page, you can find the pictures.
Very colorful, very attractive.
Colorful,
makes me want to be a kid again.
So Saturday, 25th September by 10 a.m. It's just 1,500. Bring your children. We're going to be there all day from 10 a.m. We'll be there till the evening, just having fun with the children. Some of us will be there. Miriam Oguremi, who is Auntie Miriam, will be there as well. So we would expect to see you. All you have to do is pre-register so that we can plan properly. You can call or text 0805 041 7077. I'll take that again, 0805 041 7077. You can also call 0811 249 0571. So we're doing this in conjunction with the Ministry of Youth and Sport in Ogun State. So that's for that. So let's get to the newspapers. I've been getting quite a number of comments of people who say they would like to react to the state of the death scene, the metropolis. But maybe when we reopen the phone lines, then if you want to chip in anything in that regard, you can do that. So I'll run through the Punch newspaper from this end.
Premium Times, I'll basically take as many newspapers as I can. But let me begin with this headline from Premium Times. Oshibajo leads prayers for peace in Nigeria. Police arrest trigger-happy cop who killed teenager in Lagos. And this is a sad story. A young lady, an 18-year-old lady, celebrated her birthday, Monsurat Ojuade. She was shot on Friday night. And, despite all efforts to save her life, she lost her life. Partly because doctors are on strike. She was taken from one hospital to another until she eventually gave up the ghost. But even though the police is not naming the identity of the killer, they claim to have arrested the cop responsible. VAT collection tussle, what appeal court ruling means. The lawyers have weighed in on this, and the presidency is clarifying what the president said in Imo. I saw a clip of the president's statement, and it did look like it was being taken out of context. He had said there that he would think carefully before visiting Imo, and his aides here are saying that that statement was indeed taken out of context. Nnamani Chimaroke Nnamani, a senator and chairman of the Senate Committee on Cooperation and Integration in Africa, has said that the sit-at-home order is against the interest of the Igbo people. Soldiers allegedly beat taxi driver to death. Investigation commences. Another sad one there. CJN orders disciplinary action against Abuja judge who issued criminal summons against Soludo. It must be mentioned that that's because the judge did so. It was not in his jurisdiction, to do that. Also from Premium Times newspaper, let me see. I think that's about it. I'll get to other newspapers, but we go over to you now for the Punch.
The Punch newspaper, strike continues. NARD insists after meeting NMA. Lagos DPO's missing pistol. Police release lady, remove officer over Punch report. Nigeria loses 247.61 billion naira in 100 days of Twitter ban. 75 abducted Zamfara pupils regain freedom. Some good news there. Federal government GDP growth meaningless with rise in poverty. OB. And let's see if I can also check out the Nation newspaper. Some headlines here as well. This stuff, okay. Uzodinma has delivered on World Road project in record time. Let me quickly bring up. PDP crisis. MAC panels once again sacking seconders before 9th December. There's some of the headlines. Olubadan, Shaun, Oluwo, other Yoruba monarchs demand peace, oppose secession. And Kasina rakes in 393 million naira from FAMI. Kogi West elders call for governorship rotation 2023. It's already going mainstream at the moment. But then this is some of the headlines here on the front page of the Nation newspaper.
Also, let me tack this on from the Nation as well. The Nation has listed a number of states that the president has paid working visits. That's in quotation marks too, since 2015. And from what I see here, it appears to be 21 out of the 36 states that the president has paid working visit to since his election in 2015. From Nigerian Tribune, though, fleeing bandits run into military camp in Niger community. Lawmaker tells federal government to avert another ASU strike. Allow that legal battle run full course. Ekweremadu advises. DPR plans expansion of crude oil reserves by 14 billion barrels. And you may have missed this one from the Punch. Nigeria loses 247.61 billion naira in 100 days of Twitter ban. Speaking of the Twitter ban, there are speculations that the government cannot afford to leave it banned for the 2023 election, so they're likely to unban it come 2022. To be interesting to see if those predictions turn out to be correct. Those are the headlines.
Let's take some details before we get back to the phone lines. And let me start with this story. Strike continues. NARD insists after meeting NMA. The leadership of the Nigerian Medical Association on Sunday met with leaders of the Nigerian Association of Resident Doctors as part of efforts aimed at ending the resident doctors' lingering strike. The meeting was held barely 48 hours after the leadership of NMA met with the president at the Presidential Villa, Abuja. At the meeting, President Buhari had urged striking health workers to return to their duty post and appeal to others contemplating strikes to opt for settlement of issues by negotiation, no matter how long it would take. And this year, according to a source in the meeting, the NMA team warned the president of NARD to summon a meeting of the NEC to call off the strike. When contacted, the national president, Dr. Yilawa, confirmed that the NMA had a meeting with the NARD. But as it stands, it looks like strikes continues by the National Association of Resident Doctors.
All right, from the Punch as well, let me go deeper on the story where the vice presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party in the 2019 general elections, Peter Obi, has faulted the latest National Bureau of Statistics report, which stated that the country's economy has recorded a 5% growth to gross domestic product growth. He added that growth with rising poverty in the country was meaningless, specifically saying rather than celebrating growth to GDP, which had no impact in the citizenry, the federal government should stop borrowing for consumption and face investment. He said the fact that the federal government had been borrowing money and spending it on consumption had not made the NBS report to make significant impact in the lives of an average Nigerian. He noted that the federal government should concentrate on the small and medium enterprises, education, as well as target its citizens in the diaspora if it really wanted to make significant impact in the lives of its citizens. It's always good to hear good news, but I've noticed that whenever you hear, the GDP always seems to be mostly positive. I mean, at some points, Nigeria was lauded for having perhaps the biggest GDP in Africa, but, you know, citizens always rail at that, saying that it never directly doesn't seem to have any impact on them directly. The cost of foodstuff in the markets, basically everything, the price of everything seems to have gone up. So hearing stuff like the GDP increased or has gotten higher doesn't seem to put some cheer in the hearts of the average Nigerian. And it seems that Peter Obi sort of aligns with this thinking as well. But that was from the Punch newspaper. Federal government's GDP growth meaningless with rise in poverty. Obi.
All right, let's look at this one bit of good news here. 75 abducted Zamfara pupils regain freedom. The 75 pupils of Government Day Secondary School, Kaya, in Maradun local government area of Zamfara State, who were abducted on 1st September 2021, have regained their freedom. The Nigerian Television Authority broke the news via its verified Facebook page overnight. Nigerian police had reported that gunmen abducted more than 70 students in the country's northwest state of Zamfara. That's, like I said, some bit of good news. The bandits initially returned 5 of the pupils within 24 hours. A former councillor of Kaya Ward, Yaya Kaya, said that his niece was among those released by the bandits, adding that the 5 fruit pupils had been returned to their hometown of Kaya. But the report now is that 75 abducted Zamfara pupils have regained freedom.
Okay, let me take another story now from one of the newspapers. I'm having a bit of trouble accessing it.
Okay, let me take this one from the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. CJN orders sanction of judge who issued criminal summon on ex-CBN Governor Soludo. The Chief Justice of Nigeria, CJN Ibrahim Tanko Mohammed, has ordered the Judicial Service Committee of the Federal Capital Territory to immediately initiate disciplinary action against the Upper Area Court judge who issued direct criminal summons against the former governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Professor Charles Soludo. The judge, whose name is withheld, issued the criminal charges against the governorship candidate of the All Progressives Grand Alliance, APGA, in Anambra State, over alleged serial abuse of office and breach of code of conduct for public officers when he was CBN governor between May 2004 and May 2009. The Upper Area Court judge had on 23rd August 2021 issued a direct criminal summons against Soludo over perjury, corruption and false asset declaration, which is completely outside the jurisdiction of the Upper Area Court. Well, maybe when this judge is sanctioned, maybe others will fall in line. But that story is, you find it in the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. CJN orders sanction of judge who issued criminal summon on ex-CBN Governor Soludo.
Props to the CJN, though. He's seemingly taking this issue of legal, I don't know, all sorts of things being allowed in the legal sector. He seems to take it, you know, squarely and face it squarely and attempt to sanitize the space somewhat. But now I have the Premium Times back again. And here we have it that Chimaroke Nnamani, Senator PDP Enugu and Chairman, Senate Committee on Cooperation and Integration in Africa, has called for an end to the sit-at-home order by the proscribed IPOB in the southeast. Mr. Nnamani, who made the call in a statement he issued to newsmen, noted that the order had brought the economy and social life in the region to its knees. The one-time governor of Enugu also condemned the attack on citizens who went about their legitimate businesses on account of the sit-at-home order. The lawmaker said the trinity of the Igbo character was defined by hard work, adding that the sit-at-home was antithetical to this trait and a betrayal of Igbo interests, calling on those behind the order to discontinue forthwith, following the continuous damage to the economy and psyche of the Igbo people. Now, some people who are sympathetic towards, the plight of those seeking succession, that's IPOP, for example, say that in as much as, they have legitimate grievances, some of their issues, the issues they're raising are valid, the method by which they are going about it is not exactly the best strategy. Normally, the sit-at-home order is usually a pacifist thing. I mean, you're not taking up arms, you're not even walking out on the street, you're just sit at home. But the method by which, they enforce this order, what they do to those who do not comply with the order. We recall that one of the orders was given on a day that a national examination was being held, causing some of the students to miss it. Not to mention, there are even talks of IPOB. I believe I read a report recently of IPOB asking that the people of Anambra boycott the Anambra gubernatorial elections. And, it may seem sound to those who want nothing to do with Nigeria, but it really is not to their benefit, because for as long as this contraption called Nigeria continues to run, if you deliberately silence your voice or negate your voice because you do not believe in the current contraption, you're only shooting yourself in the foot, because Nigeria, as we are still together, we're still a country, and you're still a part of this country. So if you choose not to have a say in whoever elects you, then you are, as I said, shooting yourself in the foot. So Mr. Anamani may be onto something there. Sit at home against Igbo interest in Amani, and that's from Premium Times newspaper.
The Nation newspaper has this one: knocks for Gumi over visit to Igbo, not Sunday Igbo, but the Igbo town. Yoruba Nation agitators, supporters of Chief Sunday Adeyemo, also known as Sunday Igbo, his mother and kinsmen, at the weekend warned controversial Islamic cleric Sheikh Ahmad Gumi to stay away from Yoruba land. They described Gumi's recent visits to Igbo town as suspicious and insensitive. Gumi, in a video which surfaced online on 7th September, was seen standing with Professor Osman Yusuf, a former chief executive officer of the National Health Insurance Scheme, near a signboard that read Muslim Grammar School, Modeke Igbo, the hometown of Sunday Igbo. The cleric said with what he had seen, there was no need for any group to seek secession. In another viral video obtained by The Nation at the weekend, Sheikh Abdurrahim Adwaningba, the chief imam of the Yoruba in Ilorin, Kwara State, led other leaders to Igbo town with Igbo's mother. They visited a spot where Gumi had shot the video during his visit to the town and offered prayers to nullify any ulterior motives he might harbor. Well, that story you find in the Nation newspaper. Knocks for Gumi over visit to Igbo.
All right, now I'm heading to, The Punch now to bring you more details on the Twitter ban that has cost Nigeria 247.61 billion naira. According to this report here, the Twitter ban in Nigeria has extended to 100 days, and in that time frame, the nation has lost 274.61 billion naira. The federal government had on 4th June suspended Twitter after the social media platform deleted a tweet by the president. Consequently, telcos on 5th June blocked access to Twitter after receiving a directive by the Nigerian Communications Commission, NCC. And on this, the Association of Licensed Telecommunications Operators of Nigeria had conducted a robust assessment of the directive in accordance with internationally accepted principles. According to the NetBlock's cost of shutdown tool, the blockade costs Nigeria's economy 103.17 million naira. That's about $250,600 every hour. And it has been 2,400 hours since the federal government banned Twitter. This is an interesting tidbit here. It says Nigeria is a member of an exclusive list of countries such as China, Iran, and North Korea, where Twitter is banned. Now, I know it's no longer news that, the ban is ongoing, but I find that the countries that we're in company of, the countries where Twitter is banned, China, Iran, North Korea.
Not a good company.
These are not countries known for a thriving democracy, so I don't know how, as a Nigerian, I feel being amidst the company of China, Iran, and North Korea, where we share something like a Twitter ban in common. Well, we'll look to see how things play out with this. But once again, Nigeria loses 247.61 billion naira in 100 days of Twitter ban.
Punch newspaper has this one. Norgay wants local government to collect VAT. Borno advises South. The National Union of Local Government Employees says that the 774 local government, 774, I expect that to be local government councils, should collect VAT tax and not the Federal Inland Revenue Service or state government. Norgay President Akeem Olatunji stated this in an interview on Sunday. He said VAT collection would impact the communities and people more positively if collected by the third tier of government. Olatunji stated this just as the chairman of the Borno State Internal Revenue Service, Mohammed Alkali, says that not all states in the south could be self-sustaining as far as internally generated revenues were concerned. He, however, stated that Borno State would boot its IGR. The court gives states the go-ahead to collect VAT. Well, for more on that story, you can check it out. Part of the offshoots of that court case between Rivers State government and the FRS and what have you. Norgay wants local government to collect VAT. Borno advises South. We do have to proceed on a commercial break now, but when we come back, we'll take your calls, comments, and social media as much as we can. Still more stories here. Technology, INEX, transparency can guarantee credible elections, that's according to the Bayelsa State government. But that and many more after this time out.
We educate, that's why we are respected. We inform, that's why we are loved. More music, we are the best. The Integrity Station. Splash, splash.
106.7.
ẹ wá gbọ́ bí mo ṣe wí níbi káàtà lẹ́tọ̀ wá pa the Wills and Properties ní ká lọ wọn kì í talẹ̀ kan fẹ́ni méjì ṣèyẹn lé ní wàhálà ọkọ nílẹ̀ ìyẹn ò sí lọ́dọ̀ wọn wò ó sùn bí máa wojú àwọn ti bí ìbẹ̀rù ọlọ́run náà fi ń tajà sí wọn ìwé lọ́nà òtítọ́ ọ̀nà àlàáfíà.
simple kẹ́tẹ́lì mi ká lọ o.
ká lọ bá àwọn tó wọ́pọ̀ the Wills and Properties nílùú Ẹ̀gbálé.
gbogbo ilẹ̀ the Way Homes and Properties ló gbàgbé tán àbí san díẹ̀díẹ̀ a wà ní 24 Nawarudin Road ládojúkọ Nawarudin High School Ìṣàbọ̀ Abeokuta 08161411190 tàbí 09125242235 The Way Homes and Properties ẹni mọ̀nà ni ẹjọ́ fi yín mọ̀nà.
Bolive International School calling. Bolive International School calling. Bolive International School calling. If you desire a modern day and government-approved nursery and primary school for your child with conducive and serene learning environments, well-equipped computer laboratory, classrooms, equipment Montessori teaching aids, being handled by professional and friendly teachers, spacious playing ground with sporting kits, music laboratory with different musical instruments, why not register your child at Bolive International School? Bolive International School is located at Rock City Avenue, Goshen Estates, Ashero. Telephone 0803-318-6411 or 0802-313-6260. Bolive International School. Readers are great leaders.
Òmìnira dé Revolution Plus property kọ́ni òmìnira wọ̀lú Revolution Plus Premium Independence Promo. Tó bá fẹ́ ra lẹ̀. Oh yes! Nàtúrò eléyìí yàtọ̀ rẹ̀ wá jàre. Ìwọ náà kéré nínú ayé láti dọ́nílẹ̀. Kó o ra lẹ̀ Revolution Plus property. Lẹ́kọ̀ọ́, Ìbàdàn, Ṣímáwá, Abeokuta, Port Harcourt àti ìlú Àbújá. Bẹ́ẹ̀ bá ti san ó kéré tán 50,000 naira sí 5 million naira. Láàrin ọjọ́ kẹtàlá oṣù kẹsàn-án sí ọjọ́ kọkànlélọ́gbọ̀n oṣù kẹwàá ọdún 2021. Ẹ di ọmọ pẹ́ nìyẹn. Àwọn ẹ̀bùn bíi fruit blender, electric kettle, twist extractor, Samsung Galaxy TV, Samsung Galaxy Fold, home audio system, washing machine àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ ló ti wà lẹ̀. Eléyìí gan ni mẹ̀mẹ̀mẹ̀mẹ̀ tẹ́ ẹ̀ tí mọ̀. Revolution Plus Premium Independence Promo. Eléyìí yàtọ̀. Fún àlàyé ẹ kàn sí www.revolutionplusproperty.com tàbí ẹ pè 0811-283-5 fún mẹ́rin 0811-286-5 fún mẹ́rin. Revolution Plus Property. Ilé ìrọ̀rùn lówó dákọ̀mù.
Don't dare touch that dial. It's Splash, your integrity station.
Panorama.
Panorama.
Panorama. Panorama.
Panorama.
Panorama on Splash 106.7 FM.
Welcome back to Panorama on Splash 106.7 FM. Let's get to the phone lines while we also take some other stories in between. Your calls 0704 400 1067 0817 444 1067 0817 55 1067. The phone lines to be a part of the program. 555 1067 is also the WhatsApp line. That means you can also drop your comments there. WhatsApp available, Facebook also available.
Right. We've gone through a slew of headlines. There's more to come, but if you'd like to react to the ones we've taken so far, the phone lines are open. Here's this interesting one, this worrying one from Guardian newspaper. It says, worry over mass abductions as schools resume today. You know, it didn't even occur to me when Wega was talking about schools resuming that, now parents have to worry about their children being kidnapped in schools. But it says here that schools resume today for the commencement of the 2021-2022 academic session across the country, but it will not be a cheery return for thousands of pupils, especially in northern Nigeria, already traumatized by reports of incessant mass abductions. Let's take this call. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, hello, good morning.
What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Uche from Abeokuta.
Good morning, Uche.
Thank you. You see, I would like to understand a better way to do a protest. Because in this part of the world, Nigeria, as the case may be, if you come out on the street to protest, they will list the security agencies against you. They will shoot you, kill you, arrest you, detain you, then they will tag you a terrorist. Then you decided to stay in your house and protest. They say that you are running the economy down. Please, which other way, which proper way to protest in this country and to be safe? Then secondly, I'm seeing the kind of Imo State election for the Supreme Court governor in Anambra State. Now that Chukuma Soludo is in their book, somebody that has left office 6 years now, nobody has invited him for anything. But now that maybe a Senate in election, they now that maybe you did this, I didn't do that. Okay, you know how they came to office. After they have removed Honor as the Supreme, as CGN, controversially, and they were appointed, which the Christian agency did not ratify the appointment up to today. And the people that now squeezing another person for this and that, I said declaration. Since how many years? Now they have woken up to know that maybe he did not declare his assets. After maybe 10 years or so of leaving office. Have a nice day.
Thank you very much, Uche, for your contribution. You too can do the same. 0704 400 1067 or 817 444 1067.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Kunle Ashimi. I'm calling from Abeokuta.
It's good to have you, Kunle Ashimi. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, I actually want to comment about these refuse dumps scattered all over the state. Now, I heard people advising that the public should stop dropping refuse on the median or the roadside. See, there can be a vacuum. For government to do the needful, you would have these refuse collection bins, at strategic places. If you're going towards the only one you have is at somewhere close to that junction. For both the axis of Idea to NNPC back to More Junction, you have only one. at each day. So where else do you expect people to dump this refuse? You have to provide a place for them to drop it. Designated places, not this scattered 1 for 1 million kind of thing. So people must throw away refuse. And unfortunately, again, you see some people even dumping inside gutters, these rivers that pass or to the stream. So the streams around Abeokuta are littered with refuse. Maybe more people would have preferred to take it to a designated place. But in the absence of that, they still must dispose these things. So government needs to look into that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Kunle Ashimi, for your contribution. That issue is also one that concerns us very much here. And we talk about it as much as we can. So I also have this story here. I'll quickly take it. In the Punch newspaper today, technology, INEC's transparency can guarantee credible elections. That's according to Doyediri. Bayelsa State Governor on Sunday said that the successful introduction and deployment of the Bimodal voter accreditation system by INEC has given hope for credible elections in the country. For those that do not know, INEC is trying to bring forward a new process of voter accreditation, which is the Bimodal voter accreditation system. Okay, before I explain what I know about it, let's take this call. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Nicholas.
Good morning to you.
You see, when a man is pressed, he does not look for a good toilet. In fairness to the former Commissioner of Environment, he was even one of the commissioners who was appearing to be working. The disposal trucks were almost everywhere. But since the case of him and that minor girl, we didn't really know much about I don't know if you know the new Commissioner of Environment and how that case went, like most Nigerian cases. Secondly, on the Imo issue, are you with me?
We are with you.
The SA on publicity to the president should realize that there are millions of Nigerians who are educated, who understand simple English, more than those in Asomok. Even when Professor Oshibajo went to Imo State, he reminded the governor of Imo State that you are not the governor because you are the smartest. But people find it difficult to read in between the lines. Now, a soldier, a retired general, has gone there and told the whole world in simple English that when you invited me, I thought you wanted to show me the flyovers, the roads, and the hospitals, but you got the whole Igbo leadership. So that next time I'll be careful because you have achieved what the military does not like. You have achieved surprise. I don't know, wherever Federation studied his English, that English was clear. It was not in Hebrew or Sanskrit. Have a nice day.
Thank you very much, Nicholas, for your contribution. All right, so I was trying to talk about the bimodal election verification system that INEC, or voter accreditation system that INEC is bringing forward. This just means that aside from the fingerprints, which the smart card reader does, and it also means that the smart card reader, I guess, is maybe being phased out now to now accommodate this new device. So what this does is that aside from the fingerprint, it can also do a facial accreditation as well. And that's why for those that have done recent registration, you are expected to upload 2 pictures. One when you are not smiling, just a straight face. Yes. The other one with a smiling face. So what that means is that if you try your fingerprint, for instance, on election day, and it doesn't get accredited, maybe for one reason or the other, they then proceed to try the facial accreditation. So if those 2 now fail, then it means that you won't be allowed to vote. What obtains now is that once they don't get your fingerprint, they fill the incidence form, and sometimes you're allowed to vote. But now they try the fingerprint. If it doesn't work out, they try the facial. If it doesn't work, then you're not allowed to vote. I expect that both should not fail at the same time. But that story I was taking, the commission had on Saturday introduced and tested the new voter accreditation device while conducting the Isoko South Constituency 1 by-election into Delta State House of Assembly. They recommended the chairman of INEC, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, for the innovative effort, stressing that the successful deployment of the device ensured the accreditation and voting process were fair and credible. Well, that's what the bimodal voter accreditation system is about. You might have been hearing it, and if you're hearing it for the first time, that is exactly what it does.
All right, now on to more headlines, or perhaps we should take WhatsApp comments as they come in. Remember, phone lines are still open. Engineer Tayo Adenira from Abeokuta says, good morning, Lola, Mr. Gwega. Can you imagine Mr. President visited only 21 states since he assumed office? That's why Mr. Buhari does not care when bad things happen in some states. If you visit all states and have a good talk with their governors and citizens of the state without playing politics, he would have known what we are facing. It will be ridiculous and unfortunate if President Buhari does not tour around the country before his tenure expires. God help us. Now, let me take this one from Premium Times as well, of lawyers weighing in on the appeal court judgment that came in last week regarding the VAT collection. VAT collection tussle is how it's termed here, what appeal court ruling means. Lawyers have expressed mixed reactions to Friday's ruling of the Court of Appeal in Abuja, which ordered parties to the value-added tax VAT collection dispute to maintain status quo ante bellum. It says here that lawyers have expressed divergent views on the implication of that ruling to maintain status quo ante bellum. One of them said that the courts engaged in what he termed as constructive ambiguity, which left the public and even the parties in a legal quandary, saying that in legal parlance it means the parties should go back to the situation they were in before the suit was instituted, where states were collecting VAT for the federal government, but now they decide to collect VAT for themselves. Meanwhile, another lawyer says, let me see now, it says that it means that things should return to what they were before going to court, and that when a matter is before the court, parties are supposed to hold on in order to preserve the subject matter. But some people have said that since Lagos State was not part of the initial ruling, it was River State government versus the FIRS. Lagos State can continue to, uphold its own law, which it passed in its state, empowering the State Revenue Collection Agency to collect VAT as opposed to the FIRS. But, when the whole VAT thing happened, as much as everyone, there was commendation all around, I really was wary. I wanted to see how it would play out in the end. It's not the end yet. September, I think 20-something, is when the court will hear the case, the Court of Appeal will hear the case and decide. And even then, it's still not final. It can head as far as the Supreme Court.
Let me take a related story. The Punch newspaper pulls this forward. VAT, 5 northern states, 2 southwest, 2 south-south among top beneficiaries. And 5 northern states, 2 southwestern states, 2 south-south states, and 1 southeastern state collected a total of 373.84 billion naira of the 836.51 billion naira value-added tax allocation available for states in 14 months. This is according to the latest FAC allocation data available from the National Bureau of Statistics for the months of January 2020 through to February 2021. In the period under review, the 36 states of the Federation and the federal government shared 1.09 trillion naira as VAT revenue from the Federation Accounts Allocation Committee. The top 10 states were Lagos, 153.94 billion naira, Kano, 32.48 billion naira, Oyo, 29.85 billion naira, Rivers, 28.43 billion naira, Kaduna, 24.75 billion, Katsina, 22.72 billion naira, Delta, 20.91 billion naira, Bauchi, 20.49 billion naira, Anambra, 20.14 billion naira, and Jigawa, 20.13 billion naira. Lagos got the largest share, while Nasarawa got the least allocation of 15.36 billion. Based on the regions, the Southwest region received the highest VAT allocation with 256.21 billion naira, followed by the Northwest, 154.41 billion naira, South 119.88 billion naira, Northeast 107.43 billion naira, North Central 106.58 billion naira. The Southeast received the least from the VAT allocations with 91.99 billion naira. Well, it's a long report, just trying to put data together. So you can check out that story. VAT, 5 northern states, 2 southwest, 2 south among top beneficiaries. The Punch newspaper has that report.
All right, now let's read this one on Katsina State Governor Aminu Bello Masari, revealing that the state generated 393 million naira as taxes and levies from farming and the agricultural sector, despite the spate of growing attacks on the farming communities across parts of the state. He disclosed this during the launch of 600 hectares of date planting campaign in Katsina, organized by the National Association of Date Farmers, Processors and Marketers of Nigeria, NADAFAM, in collaboration with the state government. Okay, it's interesting to see, states sort of looking inwards and seeing how they can boost their IGR.
On Facebook, John Oluwafemi Bezo said, "Good morning, Mr. Olani and Lola. How are you doing in the studio? I have nothing to say than to say God help us in Nigeria." Well, amen. What you've said is enough and resounding enough. Thank you very much. God will indeed help us in this country. Mr. Walifayon, we see your message as well. Thank you very much. That takes me to this next story. The Nation newspaper, sanction for forex defaulters takes off. The stage may be set for banks to begin the naming and shaming of customers who engage in foreign exchange malpractices. This is in line with the directive of the Central Bank of Nigeria. In circulars obtained at the weekend, it was the Nation discovered the banks have concluded the warning phase and now ready to begin the full and immediate implementation of the naming and shaming of unethical practices in obtaining and return of forex. Following the ban on forex sales to bureaus, exchange operators, and the designation of banks as sale points by the CBN, there were alarms over malpractices aimed at circumventing the forex sale policy by unscrupulous customers. Some of the unethical practices include presentation of false travel documents, visas, and the cancellation of flight tickets after purchasing personal travel allowance and business travel allowance. You can find the rest of that story. The Nation newspaper presented it as sanction for forex defaulters takes off.
From Premium Times newspaper is this story of related to the IPOP sit at home that I took earlier. Abia dismisses IPOP order, asks students to be in schools for examination. The Abia state government on Sunday rejected the sit-at-home order by the pro-Biafra group IPOP and urged parents to release their children to write the compulsory English language WASSE examination scheduled to take place nationwide today, Monday, and on Tuesday. The state government said the IPOP order was not only illegal, but was meant to cause chaos in the southeast state. The Commissioner for Information in the state, John Kalu, said in the statement that it is unacceptable to allow any individual or group to instill fear in our people to the extent of negatively impacting the education of our innocent school children. While we do not begrudge any citizen the right to sit at home or go about their normal duties, as long as it does not infringe on the rights of others, we cannot afford to sit idly and watch the future of our children jeopardized and the economic well-being of our people further wrecked over a matter we believe can be resolved judicially or through political negotiations. The government asked parents to release their children for the examination and leaders of market and transport unions to ensure that markets are open and transport vehicles deployed for regular activities in the state. Is it not a failing of the state itself if it cannot guarantee the security of the residents from those who are perhaps forcing them to comply with the sit-at-home order? Because, we've seen reports of the pro-IPOB agitators beating those who do not comply with the sit-at-home order. So if the state cannot protect them, let's say they decide to go the way of the state, if the state cannot protect them, isn't that rather worrisome? I guess this ties into what I said earlier.
There's a story on the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. Bandits killed 12 military officers in Zamfara. But because of time, military sources have not confirmed it. That's officially, but newspapers are saying that this happened following an attack on a military base.
Well, Nicholas on WhatsApp says, Buhari was stoned in Abeokuta and booed in Borno. I believe it was better for the people to stay indoors than to be wasted by security forces in Imo under the guise of security threats.
All right, so that's our package this morning. Thank you very much for being a part of the program today, the first segment, and of course, the second segment. My name is Ujiga Olani. I'll see you tomorrow, God's willing. Enjoy the rest of the week.
Thank you, everyone, for your comments. Olajuwon, well, you didn't send it early enough, but thank you. I see it. I cannot read it, though. My name is Lola Middleton. It would be a delight to join you again tomorrow morning. Stay safe.